Well. That was short. Welcome back. The bear market of February 2nd, 2025 has officially ended. Where are we headed to next? We have a lot to talk about on today's live show. With that being said, let's not waste any more time and let's get started. Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content, where we take old, boring, and stale information, and for certain outlets that we stream to, gets the intro twice. I won't expand on that. But anyways, did you survive yesterday? Because we did not. We're going to have to open up shop at my garage because we got liquidated so hard we have to move out. And so today's the last live stream here in studio. But I do have a really nice coffee machine at home, guys. So call me the barista. Also, call me the prophet because I have had internal conversations with David and I called all of this as it happened. Did I not? He actually did. He actually did. We were talking about this, I think it was Friday night or Saturday. It was Saturday. And I was like, we started to see a little pullback in the market. I was like, yo, bro. I was like, I bet you this thing drops down to like 92. I think it's going to be a big pullback. And there was one altcoin. I was like, this one's going to collapse. And I was like, watch out. It's going to lose its support. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back to a certain number that it did. And spot on, man. Would you like to say which altcoin it was? I wouldn't be mad if you didn't. Nah. You know how our community, we love you guys, but you know, God forbid you put in a short on. Some people are a little sensitive. Yeah, you put in a short on one of your favorite cryptos, and they're like, oh, how could you ever short anything that you make a video on? Yeah. It honestly, guys, like this is what I'm going to tell you. All right, what we saw yesterday was a pretty big pullback. And you think? Yeah. And here's the thing. You know, it's just kind of funny. I was thinking about this morning. And I remember you saying there won't be any 10% pullbacks. No, I said 30. I said 30. I did not say 10. I said 30. Oh, no, you said 10%. I said 30. I'll pull up the receipts. I said 30. Anyways, guys. Crypto is not some special unique market that is exclusive of market trends that will do things that no other asset will ever do ever in the future. And it's bulletproof. Like, let's be real. I stand by my conviction that we will see a $300,000 to $600,000 Bitcoin sometime this year and maybe even early and continuing on to early 2026. I think that is on track. And what we saw yesterday will happen, not again, but multiple times during this bull market, right? You cannot go from 100,000 to $300,000 or $500,000 Bitcoin and not get massive pullbacks, right? With volatile, massive, violent moves to the upside, also comes volatile, massive moves to the downside. And crypto is no exception. You can look at any market. You can look at any stock. You can look at NVIDIA. You can look at Tesla. You can look at anything. It doesn't matter how solid the company is, how solid the fundamentals are. Name an asset, a large asset that has a lot of money, a lot of trading, and that happens all the time, and it will always happen. It will happen to the end of eternity when it comes to Bitcoin, or as long as the Bitcoin network is up, as long as it retains value, there will always be big pullbacks, especially if there are big moves to the upside. And so preparing for that and having yourself ready and having the due diligence, and you know what? Having actually the balls to say, hey, you know what? This might pull back. Let me be prepared for that scenario. And so that's all it is, man. And you know what? What a great buying opportunity. As my boy Stan says in the chat, buy. And we're not talking about an NSYNC song. We're talking about the crypto charts because everything is on discount.
Exactly.
I have some massive returns on some long positions. I got liquidated a couple times doing so, trying to find that bottom. But you know what? Liquidate me once, shame on me. Liquidate me twice, shame on Trump. Go long the third time and make some damn money. You know what I mean?
It's Kamala's fault.
Here we go.
Third time.
Hey man, I got an XRP long that's gonna buy me a house, bro. It's a nice one.
Yeah, that's the one I got liquidated on, was the XRP long.
Dude, I tried to call that one. I entered in on that, but I got liquidated in 45 minutes. The second one I put in, I got liquidated in 25 minutes. And I was like, all right, pump the brakes. I didn't get the best entry point, but you know, it got all the way down to like $2. And then once it got up to about 230, I was like, all right, I feel comfortable about this. It seemed like once everyone's done throwing up on themselves, you look over to the left and right, and you're like, all right, cool. All right, we're back. We're back. Now, with that said, I still would proceed with caution because this could be a very short bounce back, and we could be right back down to 94,000. There's nothing stopping us from going there, especially if this tariff news kind of compounds on itself. Mexico comes out, says they're going to drop some tariffs. China all of a sudden gets reckless. And so I would still caution you, we are not free and clear here. Do not bet the house on a long position right now. I would restrain from putting in high leverage on a long at this point in time because we're right at 100,000. I would not be surprised to see us go back down to 96. So I proceed with caution at this point.
Might actually be a good time to short. We'll see. There's, in my opinion, when you talk about stuff that's out of your hands, there's just too much uncertainty, right? So yesterday I went live. So shout out to those of you that joined me live from my house yesterday as the markets were crashing. Everyone was like, what's going to happen Monday, right? Trump said he's going to talk to Canada, talk to Mexico. Would it be good? Would it be bad? With Trump, you never know. Is he going to come out there and threaten? So come to find out, the call with Mexico actually went pretty well. They agreed on some things, and they agreed to put the tariffs on pause. Great. Markets rebound. But very well tomorrow, the dude can be getting off Air Force One and talking about we're going to tariff 30% on China. And so there's just a lot of uncertainty. It's, the first 100 days of his presidency. Expect big shakeups. So there's going to be a lot of volatility. I mean, yesterday we were looking at the pre-markets. And the Dow was down, pre-markets yesterday, down 660 points. NASDAQ and the S&P 500 pre-market were down 2.5%. And it looks like it has flipped as the Dow is now in the green. S&P is only down 0.3%, and the NASDAQ is down a little more than 0.5%. And the VIX is up 7.8%. Usually when you see the VIX go up, prices are dropping. Now this number, it's at 17. It got to like 80 during the pandemic, during COVID. And so that's when we saw those massive liquidations. Speaking of liquidations, well, first here, this is, it's kind of the news that I personally believe rebounded the markets. Mexico's president said tariffs will be paused for 1 month. And this is what they're going to do. Not going to get into that. And then yesterday, my God, the biggest one-day liquidation in crypto history. $800 billion of market cap was wiped away in a matter of hours, and total liquidations hit $2 billion. But actually, according to the top crypto KYL on X, AIXBT, real liquidations hit $8 to $10 billion. Yesterday, when I went live, we looked at the 1 hour. $600 million was liquidated in one single hour. Extrapolate that over 24 hours, do the math. That's what we're on pace for. And this was actually confirmed, moreover, by the Bybit CEO, who said crypto liquidations may have reached $10 billion. And so, there's one trade that we got liquidated on. You can't hit all of them. It was an XRP trade that was put in early last week at $3, and it was doing fairly well, and it was going to get back to that $3.12 to $3.15 target that I was looking at. And then the whole tariff thing came down and the market's completely tanked. But again, we did hit a nice 50% short trade on BTC. So to all the people that are copy trading us, made some of that money back we lost on the XRP trade. But Rob, so do you think this is a dead cat bounce, as some people say, or are you convinced that the markets have recovered?
I'm not convinced about anything.
So what
I am not convinced on anything at this moment.
So then what are you waiting to see?
At this moment, I just would play both sides of the fence or prepare for both sides, right? I know you mentioned short. I don't disagree. I think it might be a good entry position on a short. At the same time, do you want to short Bitcoin in a bull market, especially after a big dip? Probably not. And so for me, my trading strategy is what got hammered hardest during the pullback, right? And then those are probably not going to spill off much further, or at least they're going to have less of a pullback than what you would see with say something that's kind of rebounded a lot, right? So Bitcoin obviously rebounded to 100K. You know what? Might not be the best entry position at 100K. But if you go down the list of projects that are down the most, for me, what I like to do here is I like to say, what is down the most on the week? Because we know the week is pretty much, if you look at what's down on the week the most, you can identify what is pulled back the most for that one-day crash.
Okay, so
I mean, you obviously got the Melania one got absolutely crushed, down almost 40%. Pudgy Penguins, this thing is, I don't think it's going to come back, man. I don't know, man. I don't see any value in Pudgy Penguins myself personally.
It'll come back.
I don't see any value in it. Tell me why someone that doesn't care about NFTs or Pudgy Penguins, why they would care about that.
What do you mean?
I mean, outside of speculation, is there any reason you would hold Pudgy Penguins?
No. But you can say that about almost every coin.
Every coin? No, I can't say that about every coin. I cannot say speculation for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, BNB, Dogecoin. It may be, but that's got such long.
Okay, so why are people holding
Cardano, Chainlink, Avalanche?
So why are people holding XRP, Robin? To use it?
Are you for real? You don't think
majority of people, majority of retail, why are they holding XRP? To use it or to speculate on the price?
Majority of retail that you might talk to, sure, but I mean the real reason XRP was created is for money remittance, cross-border payments, and then you also have real-world asset tokenization. You have RippleNet and the XRPL. You got the stable coin. You have I don't know. I mean, we do XRP videos all the time. You don't believe in that stuff?
Just like the penguin. Don't worry.
No, I'm just being you don't.
Saying a majority of people that hold cryptocurrencies.
I mean, you can say that about stocks as well. Like at the end of the day,
obviously
you can buy a penny stock and then just speculate.
You're further making my point.
But what I'm saying is that there's a real roadmap and a real use case and a real tangible ecosystem that is being built around XRP. I cannot say the same about Pudgy Penguins.
I agree. But you said outside of speculation, is there any reason to buy? I'm saying majority of people buy for speculation.
I mean, I understand. Majority of people that buy XRP would like a return. Yes, I agree that people aren't just buying it so that way they can hope that the world transitions over to crypto.
Plus, they got the plushies. Does XRP have plushies? I didn't think so. Sold at Walmart.
So, anyways, I like to look at what's down the most for the week, right? And so for me, I don't see any reason to touch these top three here: Trump, Melania, Penguin. I mean, honestly, like at these discounts that you're getting, why even take a chance at this? You know what I mean? Like, take your high risk when the solid projects are now getting expensive, right? And so for me, I mean, you got Virtual's Protocol at $1.50. This might be the steal of the century, honestly. You have, if you're a Filecoin fan, that's massively discounted. Arbitrum, not for me, but you know what? If you're in the ETH ecosystem, why not? BitTensor, your favorite, down 18% on the week. This might be a massive buy. Near Protocol, great opportunity. For me, I'm looking at Avalanche here. You know, I'm big Avalanche bull, $27. This was at $38 a week ago. Then you got Cosmos, not really for me, but you know what? There's a lot of people that believe in Cosmos, the SDK. They do have a lot of cross-chain interoperability. There's a lot of competition now, but hey, Cosmos might be a sleeper pick here. Also, Algorand down 15%. You know what I was really eyeballing?
Render's a buy, bro.
And Render's a buy as well. Now, what I was eyeballing is this Cardano here, man.
It got to 50 cents.
I think Cardano, even at 80 cents, might be the best return. And it was at $1.25 not that long ago, right?
Cardano got to 49 cents.
$1.15, $1.13. When did it get to a dollar? Yeah, so $1.25 back in December. 2 months ago. Not even. You're at $1.25. And so you want to talk about the easiest 2x of your life. Cardano might be the most surefire pick right now. Honestly, if I had a large stack of cash sitting on the sidelines, which unfortunately at this moment I don't, I would be buying Cardano.
Because it got liquidated?
No, I've actually just
don't worry. Majority of
I got a trading account with liquid capital, but I don't have any more DCA on the sidelines. Which is whatever. Money, I'll find money somewhere. I'm not worried about it. But I think Cardano, man. Cardano at 80 cents.
Why are you laughing, Rocco?
Fund money where?
No, I mean, you know, like
I don't know. That's why I'm.
You sell out of the trading account. You know, like here's the thing. Like if I'm up 15,000 on a trading account, sell 5,000, move it over into my.
You sell that Rolex.
Always sell the Rolex. You know, move 15 grand over from the trading account to buy. You have other assets. I got a
couple kidneys.
I got crypto sitting around in some projects that maybe I don't need exposure to. Maybe, shift some money around. Either way, I think Cardano's a steal, right? I think Cardano is an absolute steal right now. Also, I think Avalanche grossly undervalued as well.
You think Pulse Chain is a steal?
No, not at all.
Well, apparently it does more volume than Cardano.
Is that what somebody said in the community?
Yeah. $5 billion in market cap for Pulse Chain. So yeah.
I want to know what does the chat think? Hi. What do you think about what happened yesterday? Were you damaged internally, emotionally, mentally, physically, portfolioly? Were you damaged? Put a 1 in the chat.
Portfolioly?
Put a 1 in the chat if you are scarred from yesterday's price action.
Did you say portfolioly?
Yes. Put a 2 in the chat if you are unfazed, you are unworried, you made money, you don't give a damn, you bought more, you're excited. Put a 2 in the chat. I want to know, where does our chat land? I want everybody to participate. Put a 1 or 2 in the chat. 1, if you're beat up from yesterday. 2, if you got a leg up from yesterday.
Crit Cat said, Dave's got his kid looking for a rare skin so he can get 50%. Amen to that, man. We're a family. We work together, Son, go get those rare collectibles on Off the Grid. We got some DCA to do here, buddy boy. Michael Saylor, big announcement. Did you see the tweet?
No, I saw some news that he was going to pause buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, big announcement. It's so big that he has to announce that they did not buy Bitcoin. Last week, MicroStrategy did not sell common shares and did not purchase any Bitcoin. So thank you for that update, Mr. Saylor. Interesting there.
Question.
Answer.
Do you think that dip happened because he was on the cover of Forbes? Because, God damn it,
no,
man.
It was not. Because
it's like, you know what? You're on the cover of Forbes and literally bad things happen.
It's because of the tariff thing.
Bad things happen.
Pretty obvious.
Sam Bankman-Fried on the cover. FTX blew up. MicroStrategy. Sailor on the cover. MicroStrategy doesn't buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin crashes, and people get liquidated.
Here's one thing I will say. If you notice a trend of potential bad news, when I say bad news, I mean bad for the market news, happens Friday after the markets close. Okay? Why? People can't buy and sell stocks during the weekends, but guess what they can sell during the weekends? Is crypto. So expect in the next 100 days or in the next 90 days, expect volatility on the weekends, whether it's good or bad, expect volatility. Because the same trend's going to continue where if he's going to start slapping tariffs or whatever that could be identified as bad news for the markets, that market participants would see it as an opportunity to sell or want to get out of the markets, it'll drop Friday after the stock market closes. And the only risk on markets that are open over the weekend is going to be cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin. So expect that as well. Just something to keep your eye on. Also, this was very telling. Okay, this was very telling. I saw a comment about paper hands in there. Look at this, Robin. This is a chart. You have 3 metrics: retail, large investors, and price. And, well, guess which one retail is? It's the one that has sold. And this chart just is just straight to the point. This is why the rich stay rich, and this is why the poor continue to become more poor. Because everyone has access to information. You can open up ChatGPT. You can get any question answered that you would like. You can open your phone and go to Google and get any information that you please, right? IQ is not what it used to be. Information is readily available for anyone with internet access and a device in their hand or on their computer. And this chart tells it all. Large investors, institutions, and smart money, they continue to accumulate what retail is selling. And then the price starts going up, retail comes back in, and this chart is flipped in the inverse. And they become exit liquidity. I tell people, got to get out of your emotions. And I said this on the stream last night. If nothing has fundamentally changed with your portfolio and the projects that are in there, outside of just price, do not panic sell your bags. Don't do it. If you need to sell it to pay bills, you're overexposed. Then you got to reevaluate your entire portfolio. But if you're in a position to where the price dips 10, 20% and you panic sell because you think it's over and nothing has changed for the project, of whether it's Caspa or Cardano or ICP or Bitcoin or ETH, whatever it is, and you panic sell, there's going to be those large institutions and investors that buy your bag and they'll sell it back to you at a higher price. So don't fall into that trap.
I do got a lot of new people in the chat today. If you are new here, say hello. We'd love to give you a little shout out. A lot of 1s and 2s, a good mix there. So I know there's a good amount of you were spooked and a good amount of you were unfazed. So for those of you that are spooked, well, more to come. There will be more pullbacks. Perhaps next time, be a little more prepared. Or, not leveraged in certain directions. Don't bet the house on a certain thing, going a certain direction. But either way, big shout out to Morgan Saylor, LOPC, Antonio, Crunk, Chaos Inc., Jonathan, Jay, Cody, Staying Low, BP, Lisa Lover, Donnie, S. Marie, Jay Woods, Edward, Sunny, ZYLK, Gulf Shores, Roger X, New Type, Hope to See, Paul B., Scott, Be Wise, and also I saw somebody else in here. Anyways, to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. I will just say, though, off of what you're saying, things might not change fundamentally, but if fundamentally the project wasn't sound from the get-go and nothing's changed fundamentally because they weren't building anything fundamental, then maybe you need to reevaluate that position. Because if you're simply holding it because of the promise that it might go up in price, but it doesn't really do much, you better hope the community gets larger, because if it doesn't, you're just going to keep bleeding money out.
That's a great point.
So,
but to your point, you don't do that when you see 20% drawdowns.
yes, no, 100%. And even your most speculative projects, let's just say you're exposed to Trump or Melania as an example.
I'd love to be exposed to Melania.
Sorry.
Secret Service, I was kidding.
If even those projects don't sell the bottom, even those will rebound. Yes. It will this be the absolute top for the Trump token? Will this be the absolute bottom for the Trump token? No, probably not. So Trump's sitting at 1888. Would I buy it? No. Do I think it'll be over $20 at some point in time in the next few months? I think so. I think it'll rebound.
Bitcoin's crushing, by the way. Sorry.
Is it? Bitcoin's moving?
101.
Damn! Bitcoin is you know what?
Can you imagine if you panic sold at 92K only to see a rebound?
I'll say this. Do you remember our conversation on Thursday, David?
We had a lot of conversation.
Okay, let me remind you. So Thursday we had a conversation.
Okay.
I said if Bitcoin gets 300,000, and I was like, I don't know if Bitcoin's over 10,000. And you were like, "Woo!"
You mean Ethereum?
You were like Ethereum. You're like, I don't. He's like, how could this?
I don't sound like a goose.
And it's like, no way, bro. No, this is not possible. Are you crazy? We put the fire on the background, and I'm just saying. Let me ask you. Ethereum's at 2,700. Bitcoin's at 101. Are you still obscenely bullish on the idea that if we get a $300,000 Bitcoin, that Ethereum is
over 10K? You want to make a bet?
Yeah, I mean, I'll bet whatever the hell you want on that one.
$20.
No, $20.
You always come up with a bet, and then you put $20. Like
the point is not the
put some
the
skin
point is
in the
not
game.
the money.
No. The point of a bet is to make you
Again, we've been
think about it, to make it worth it, right? If I tell my son, hey, if I'm right about this and you're wrong, I'll give you a penny. Do you think he'll put any real thought into it? You think he'll be like, wow? No, he'll be like, okay, sure, yes, no. He won't even care. It doesn't matter to him. But if you make it matter, then at that point, I got the conviction. You want to do $2,000? I'll put it on there. I got the conviction. Like I adamantly believe. I believe with my pocket. I believe wholeheartedly that this will not happen. And if you wholeheartedly believe it, then fucking put some money behind it, bro. Don't be scared. So, I mean, if you truly believe it won't get to over $10,000 at the same point, at the moment Bitcoin crosses 300,000, I mean, the day it crosses 300,000, if Ethereum is not over 10,000, you got to pay the other person. You don't have the gall to do more than $20. Because I am convinced, bro. I am convinced. Like, I have sold out on ETH. I have sold out on it. I do not think it's a good investment.
ETH is going to get to 40,000 by 2026.
That's because it keeps trending down, bro. It keeps trending down. At what point are you going to hold this thing? Okay, are you going to be sitting here with your son is going to be going off to high school. He's going to be like, man, my dad, he had so much money in ETH. If he would have just bought Bitcoin, you could pay for college, And instead, he kept buying ETH for some reason. At what point? Bro, last bull market, it was $5,000 or just shy of it. And Bitcoin is at 60. Bitcoin's at 100, and it's still dramatically lower. It's lower by 12% than where it was last year when Bitcoin is at 60,000, or last cycle when Bitcoin was at 60,000. Bitcoin was at 40,000 and ETH was at 2. Bitcoin was at 60,000 and ETH was at 3. Bitcoin's at 100,000 and ETH's under 2. At what point do you say enough is enough, man? At what point?
You're making a mistake.
Okay, I'm just saying, at what number will you finally agree that maybe it's not a good time? When Bitcoin gets to 200,000 and ETH's still under 4? I'm just saying, if that hypothetically happened, would you agree that, okay, maybe I shouldn't keep holding ETH?
You know, Bitcoin was at 105 and ETH was at $3,600, right?
Exactly. Bitcoin was at 105, almost a 2x away from its last cycle all-time high, and ETH can't even get to all-time high.
We've already had this conversation, okay? Almost nothing has gotten a new all-time high outside of a few altcoins.
And a few of them doesn't include ETH.
So the bet is on or not? I didn't understand. At the end of the day,
I'm not
what you
betting
did?
$2,000.
Nah, it's because you don't believe, bro.
No, it's because all you do is spend money. I don't have money left to spend. So
I do spend a lot of money.
Rocco, you can
I do spend a lot of money.
Rocco, you can agree with me.
I want to know what you think. Are you on Team David or Team Robin? If you are a member of the Sin City community, which is now is a great time to join if you're not a member, we have emojis. My face, where I do this. And we got David's face, where I don't know what the hell he does. But anyways, use an emoji. Who do you agree with? If you think that Bitcoin will outperform ETH this bull market, put a 1 in the chat or put my face in the chat. If you think that ETH will come back and Vitalik will rise to be the great savior that, well, Satoshi never was, and he's going to outperform everything, put a 2 in the chat or put David's face in the chat. I'm curious to see where y'all land on this one. 1 or 2, me, 1, David, 2. Thank you.
Anyways, shout out to Ashley in chat. Hi, Ashley. We had this as well. I think this is also part of the reason that Bitcoin and crypto have rebounded. So this was posted today. President Trump's White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs, Tim Scott, a bunch of other senators will host a press conference tomorrow, Tuesday, February 4th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Do they not know that's when we're live? Maybe we'll cover this live.
Oh, we should
cover some of this live. To discuss how the Trump administration and Congress will work together to secure America as a leader in the digital asset ecosystem. Then we had this. President Donald Trump issued an executive order to establish a sovereign wealth fund. And take a listen to President Trump speaking to this very thing.
This is an executive order. Discharges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce.
By the way, Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent, a Bitcoin bull. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, also a Bitcoin and crypto bull. Just to put it out there, okay? Put it out there.
Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices as done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together, I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
So two crypto bulls are creating a sovereign wealth fund. Robin, what are the odds that Bitcoin and or crypto will be included?
Bro, you know, all I heard, the only thing I heard there, I heard a lot, but the one thing that really resonated with me there had to have been the word companies. And what is one company that you think of has strong representation in America?
MicroStrategy.
That also has had dinner with Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago, that has
Talking about the beef bourguignon?
the beef bourguignon. Yes. XRP seems like such a likely representative if they do buy crypto, right? And speaking of XRP is up 4% on the 1 hour. This thing is moving very quickly. Yeah, I mean, up big move here on XRP. If you're an XRP fan right now, looking very healthy, big strong pullback. I mean, rebound. And so, could we see XRP up to $3? But anyways, I think XRP seems like a likely candidate for crypto in the sovereign wealth fund. I would say don't get too overzealous on crypto landing into the sovereign wealth fund outside of Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin is an obvious shoe-in to one of the assets that would be in there. Now, I would say I'm probably 50-50 on if they put crypto in the sovereign wealth fund. I think that's kind of on the fence, 50-50. Does Bitcoin go in the sovereign wealth fund? I don't know. Flip a coin. That's where I'm at. But I think that it's guaranteed if they do, Bitcoin lands in there. And then from there, I would give it another 50-50 on whether or not, and actually I'm even less than that, man. I'm probably 20% on if they put in crypto, will other crypto assets outside of Bitcoin land in the sovereign wealth fund? I'm less bullish on that one. But if they do add some other crypto, you could pretty much say it's a guarantee that XRP lands in there. I just don't see any scenario where you get Bitcoin and you say another crypto name and XRP isn't in there. I think that is an obvious no-brainer. I mean, is there any, if you were to say there's going to be two cryptos in the sovereign wealth fund, obviously crypto number one would be Bitcoin. What would you say crypto number two would be? If you had to pick one out of all the cryptos that the U.S. could buy, I mean, what would you think?
You're not going to like this answer, but Ethereum.
Come on.
What? Why is that so hard to believe? His damn company has been nonstop buying ETH on every single dip. It's already got an ETF in the making. The Ethereum Foundation is in the United States. What else would you like? You're just a hater.
You got me so
hater
off guard with that one, bro. You got me. I mean, I will say there. You make a good point. Donald Trump has bought Ethereum. He's launched NFTs on the ETH network. I can't disagree with you. I can't say that's foolish. I still believe XRP would be a likely buy there. ETH, huh? You're not gonna let it go.
I don't know.
It's not about letting it go. You're just looking at looking at the data. You're
It
looking
doesn't
at
look
what's
like if
actually
Italy get a
happening.
bourguignon with the president. It can need a steak. They didn't have a steak.
Hate on ETH all you want, man. Hate on ETH all you want. There's a little bit left in this press conference. I want to kind of finish this thing up here.
So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok, and perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it. Otherwise, we won't. But I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund. And I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds, and some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side, but eventually we'll catch it. But we're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund, and I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund, and these two gentlemen and some others are going to work.
That's interesting. How do we not have a sovereign wealth fund and we hold the money printer? Right? That just doesn't make sense. So this is great. I was expecting at least a mention of crypto or Bitcoin. We didn't get one, but again, Howard Lutnick, Scott Bessent, Commerce Secretary, Treasury Secretary, both big crypto bulls. They're the ones that are going to be heading this thing up. So I highly doubt that we're not going to see some sort, at the very least, Bitcoin be part, or a Bitcoin company like a MicroStrategy, maybe a Bitcoin mining company, be in this sovereign wealth fund. Let's talk about this. You know, you mentioned earlier, college funds, right? So this was interesting. I'm curious to get your take on this. So more parents are choosing Bitcoin over a 529 college savings plan for their kids. What does this mean? A 529, if you're not familiar, is a tax-free fund that people set up for their kids' education, that as long as the money is used to pay for tuition, it is not taxable. And people are choosing, more parents are choosing, to spend that money and put it in Bitcoin, who
about Ethereum
does get taxed, and not the 529 plan. Any thoughts on this?
Are you setting one up with ETH for your kid?
Such a hater, bro. Just such a hater.
It makes sense. Honestly, if you're putting money aside for your kid's graduation, what other asset would you expect to give you more returns than Bitcoin on, say, a 10 years? Let's say you got a 8-year-old, right? Your kid's 8 years old and you're putting away for his college fund. I mean, give me one asset, not Ethereum, that would outperform Bitcoin in an 8-year window where you would feel so confident that you got your kid's education in there, right? Your kid's education. I mean, I don't know how you could choose anything. S&P 500, nope. Tesla, nope. Gold, nope. Platinum, uranium. I don't get whatever damn asset you want to throw in there. I cannot confidently put my kid's education on an 8 to 10 year window on anything outside of Bitcoin. And that's anything on the planet.
What about XRP, man?
No. I mean, you can't speculate with your kid's education, man.
Why not?
Well, there's always community college, David. It's always.
I know. Let's take
There's always
10%
community
for the
college.
kids.
Well, the School of Hard Knocks is free.
50-50 from the game, and then let's speculate. Perfect.
Your kid's gonna have like a 1982 Honda Civic driving to community college.
What's wrong with Honda Civics?
What's wrong with the Honda Civic?
Ain't nothing wrong with Honda Civic. Son,
They're good cars.
got you a new car.
They're good cars.
You would be the dad to give your kid his first car like a Mercedes.
Yeah. Why the hell not? It's gonna be a used Mercedes. It ain't gonna be brand new. But maybe 4 to 7 years old Mercedes.
My kid ain't getting.
Scuff it up, man. You know.
My kid ain't getting no. He's getting my old Toyota Camry for his first car.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I don't care how much money I have.
I hope he finds the skin on the game so he can buy a Lamborghini to go.
Hey, you want to buy a Mercedes with your own money? Go right ahead, man. I ain't giving you no Mercedes for your first car.
You take a 50%.
Not how I was raised. Not how I'm going to raise my kids. This is interesting too. This was posted by I think Bitwise, someone from Bitwise. Let me just double check here. Analysts at Bitwise, yeah. They're expecting Bitcoin ETFs to surpass $50 billion in 2025 inflows. What do you expect to see from the Bitcoin ETF? Now keep in mind, we already have an ETH ETF that's kind of fell flat. But same thing happened with Bitcoin well, not same thing. As far as price and what people expected, But we're going to get a Solana ETF. We're going to get an XRP ETF. We're probably going to get a Doge ETF and a slew of other ETFs. Do you agree with this? Or do you think that those new ETFs are going to take some liquidity away or potential money that would be invested in the Bitcoin ETF?
I think that the altcoin space will dilute one another. And so whatever you see in the ETH ETF, as an example, I'm not trying to be funny here, but like whatever's in the ETH ETF, I think gets diluted. I think that moves down. I think that what you'll get, whatever the next ETF is going to be large, right? Whether it's XRP or Doge or whatever, Solana maybe, whatever ETF comes out next, I think we'll have a large investment, a large surge of investment, a lot of inflows in there. But as each one keeps coming out, they're going to start to cannibalize one another. But I don't think that happens to Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin remains strong. Bitcoin creates more and more inflows.
So even if there's
growing
10 crypto ETFs, you think Bitcoin still stays on the same path?
Oh yeah, man. I think that there's no slowing that thing down, bro. Okay. You think that the US is going to buy Bitcoin for that sovereign wealth fund?
Yes.
Okay. You think that Donald Trump will fulfill his promise on a US strategic reserve on Bitcoin?
Yes.
Do you think that other countries will follow suit?
On Bitcoin only or a digital asset reserve?
It doesn't matter. But Bitcoin
Kind of matters.
I know I agree. But you agree that a strategic reserve is going to be focused on Bitcoin, right?
I would hope so.
Yeah. And if there's other ones in there, they're going to be less prominent, right? But so anyways, what I'm saying is that there's going to be the world's largest economy, the world's largest nation, going to be buying Bitcoin, not only for sovereign wealth fund, but also for a strategic reserve. You're also going to have multiple states. I would assume over 50% of states 2 years from now will have some position on Bitcoin. And then you also got retirement accounts and, wealth funds, companies. There's going to be so much money pouring into Bitcoin that most of these companies and a lot of these institutions and a lot of the whales are just going to buy the ETF, man. Honestly, even if you're a foreign nation, you might just buy the ETF. And maybe they'll self-custody, but I'd imagine that if you're, I don't know, some smaller, let's say Qatar or something, big economy, smaller nation, maybe they don't want to custody it. Maybe they just say, hey, you know what? We'll just buy an ETF. We'll call it a day. More than likely, you probably won't. More than likely, they'll buy some custodian that'll hold it for them. But you never know. Either way, I do think a lot of companies would do that route. A lot of wealth funds will buy the ETF just to keep it simple. Wealth funds right now hold S&P 500 and stocks and bonds. So would an ETF be out of the question there? No. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think that ETF Bitcoin will be a strong, prominent player, and it does not matter how many ETFs for other cryptos get launched. It's going to keep growing at a crazy pace. So,
I'm just looking at the
Bitcoin chart. Yeah, man, 102, man.
So this is the 4 hour. You saw we got into oversold territory, and we got down to 91.3 on a wick. This is from Binance, and we were around a $2,000 deviation from the lower end of our Bollinger Band last night, and so it would have been a perfect time to long. It's just, for me, it was a little too uncertain what was going to happen today. But if you got into a long or you bought, this is a great V-shaped recovery for BTC here. So what's your, to kind of put a bow on this, on the show, what are you expecting this week from Bitcoin, from the altcoins? Where's your focus to capitalize?
Like I said earlier, I don't really know, man. And I'm not.
Based off of why?
This is not me copping out, not wanting to answer. I genuinely have a lot of uncertainty on the direction of the market right now.
Why? Based off.
We're at 92,000. Now we're at 102. I don't know, dude. I don't know if this is going to keep moving. I don't know if we're going to get back under 100K. I don't know if we go back down to 94,000. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of volatility. Now, with that said, I will say this. If Bitcoin stays over $100,000 all week, and it does not go under $100,000, if it stays above that key number, my God, what an opportunity you're going to get on longs or discounted cryptos at limit order buys. What a great opportunity you to buy crypto. And whatever the hell you buy today, let's just say hypothetically, Bitcoin doesn't drop under 100K. Anything you buy today that's a solid project will almost guaranteed rebound 20, 30%. I don't know about 20, 30% because most of them are down. I would say at least 10%, right? Because almost everything's down 10% on the week, right? One big standout though I did want to mention, Ondo is absolutely crushing it right now. Ondo is up 15% on the 24 hours. Ondo is up 10% on the week, and it is absolutely unfazed by what happened here. And perhaps it has something to do with,
we talked about this last week, the next narrative, the run. We talked about RWA and gaming.
I mean, there are some other big ones in here. You got Mantra, which
Mantra's a L1 for
it's
Mantra's another RWA.
Yeah.
Mantra's an RWA L1.
If
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they do tokenize. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I forget exactly what they do, but it's like,
yeah. There you go. Is a security first RWA layer 1.
I know it's institution based. It's heavy on the institutions. I was doing some research on that a few weeks ago. Also Hyperliquid. I mean, yeah. And so Aerodome Finance. I know that's one that also another RWA play, stablecoin play here for this.
I'd throw Aerodrome more in a DeFi play. It's a DEX.
DeFi, strong presence in stablecoin ecosystem. I mean, it seems like finance RWAs is kind of leading the charge here. And I think that's off of America's.
I am very surprised Hyperliquid has performed that well. With that big airdrop they had, I thought that thing we'd see more downside. But
yeah, I mean, I think you're going to get such a great opportunity. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, just go down the list of these down on the week here. I mean, obviously these are 3 of our speculative plays, but then after that, it's a lot of solid projects here, man. Virtuals, I don't know when this AI and AI agent narrative is going to come back. I wholeheartedly believe it's going to make a resurgence. I don't know when though. And so I don't know if you're expecting virtuals to buy this now and then make crazy money over the next 30 to 60 days. I don't know if that's going to play out. Honestly, I wouldn't write it off, but at the same time, I would be hesitant. Now, with that said, I think virtuals is a great buy. At some point, I do think it gets back above all-time highs this year. And so $1.50, I think is a great entry point. And like I said, man, I think near and render are probably. I think render right now.
Render's a steal at $5.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at render, on where it was, at just back in March last year, $13. Very, very strong AI play. And even back in December, it was at $10. And so, I mean, if you're looking for an AI play, that might be a steal. Also, ICP's down significantly. I don't know where it is on this chart here.
It was under $6.
Yeah, dude, man. There's just a lot going. There's a lot of discounts right now, man. If you guys have been kind of sitting on the sidelines, it might be a great time to start getting into some of these projects. Yeah, I think Cardano is probably my favorite right now. Cardano at that sub 80 cents. I mean, how can you not? You also have Charles Hoskinson coming out saying he's doing a Lightning Network.
Yeah, you also have him
Hydra, a competitor to the Lightning Network through Hydra and Hydra Bitcoin or whatever it is. So that should be pretty big too.
What are your thoughts on him shilling meme coins? It was very strange.
It caught me off guard.
It was very strange.
Yeah. I mean, whatever, ain't nothing wrong with
it's just not. It's not him. It's just not him. It's just weird. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I just was very surprised.
I think that the largest ecosystems have meme coins. ETH, meme coin, crazy.
They also have
stable
stable
market,
coins too.
and
we need to get get
obviously,
USDC. I hope one of the proposals when that treasury gets unlocked is to spend the money to get USDC or USDT on the network. I think that's going to be very important. And I believe a lot of the community agrees. Also very important is to make sure we thank our sponsors. And well, today's show is brought to you by Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how they can help your business scale and grow and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity, hit up Cam's of his bluewiretech.com. There's a link in the description of this video. That'll do it for the show today, guys. We did post a Caspa video before we went live. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, go watch it. It's live on our YouTube. Yeah, make sure to have your notification bell on. Because yesterday, I wasn't planning on going live. Saw the markets are dipping. There are a lot of people are wondering what's going on. I decided to turn the camera on, and I went live. You wouldn't have known unless you had your notification bell on. So make sure you're subbed and have your notification. That's all we got for today. Anything else?
No, well, we did have a few new people. F-Bo, Port, Tony W, Trav, Xavier, Alex I, Jerry W, Mark Sip, Blunts Almighty, and
Blunts Almighty, huh?
And to all of you, hola! Welcome.
Real quick, did you see Kanye's wife's dress at the Grammys?
I didn't think she was wearing a dress.
Great point. Rocco! Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. And big thank you to the moderators in here. And also, shout out to the Patreon insiders. We're only 11 away from unlocking Ashley's class. We're going to do a giveaway. So shout out to you. If you haven't signed up, do so. We love you guys. Until tomorrow. Peace.
So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.